Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Casa de Geek, where I'll be fighting a 100-point kill team battle between my Genestealer Cult and Adeptus Custodes. So the story that we've got going on here is that this planet has been suffering underneath the perils of a Genestealer Cult uprising, and a force of custodians were in the area, so they were sent in to go take out the forces. They had managed to have a force of the PDF corral a bunch of Genestealer Cults down into this sector, and the Custodes dropped in to try to clear them out and take them out, but the Genestealer Cult are trying to escape so they can regroup and then reassault the Imperial Forces in another section, because that's exactly what they do. So that's the story that we've got going on here. The mission that we're going to be playing is called The Purging. It is from the Kill Team Annual 2019. It is a Genestealer Cult mission. Essentially what happens is I've deployed over on this edge. My opponent has deployed, what is it, 3 inches from the back, right? 2 inches from the back over here. And then he places 2 objectives in that 2-inch spacing that comes back over this way. And essentially what happens is I am trying to escape. So essentially I need to end my movement within, 2 inches? Within 2 inches of essentially controlling the objective here. If I can end my movement within 2 inches of an objective, I can escape. And I score a victory point for every guy that I get off the table. Oh, 2 for every guy that I get off the table. My opponent will score 1 victory point for every one that he kills, or 2 points if it is my leader, who's back over here. So he's got his custodes who are trying to just murderate me, and I'm trying to escape off the table edge there. There are a few bespoke stratagems for this mission. Essentially, there's one that allows my opponent, if he's within 2 inches of an objective, to declare, just basically put his foot on top of the sewer grate there and keep me from opening up so I can't escape from there. And then there's one for mine, which allows me to shoot in the shooting phase with a model that's already escaped, drawing line of sight from the short edge over here. Line of sight from anywhere along the short edge over here, which is pretty cool. So that is the story. That is the mission. Before we go any further, let's show you the 2 kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Genestealer Cult, my kill team will consist of, from left to right here, my leader, a neophyte leader. We then have a combat specialist, which is an aberrant with a power hammer. We then have a zealot, who is an acolyte fighter with a rock drill. And we have a heavy specialist, which is a neophyte gunner with a mining laser. We then have another aberrant with a power hammer. We have another acolyte fighter with a heavy rock saw. We have an acolyte leader and 2 more acolytes. And for the Custodes, his kill team will consist of his leader, who is a custodian guard with a guardian spear and a misericordia, and an Alaris Terminator, who will be his demolitions expert with a Castellan axe and a misericordia. So those are the kill teams. Going over deployment now for the Genestealer Cult. I've got my zealot specialist over here along with the other acolyte fighter next to him. I've got my acolyte leader along with my actual leader, my neophyte leader, back behind them. Over here we have my heavy specialist with the mining laser. We have my 2 aberrants, including the combat specialist. And then we have 2 more acolytes over on this side. Going over deployment for the Custodes, he has deployed his leader, his custodian guard over here, and his Alaris Terminator is in deep strike right now. So that is going to be it for deployment. We are now going to roll off to see who has initiative going into turn 1. I roll a 6, my opponent rolls a 9, so we will come back to you after movement phase for the custodian guard here on turn 1. All right, so I did do some cult ambush, and 2 guys, my zealot specialist and my regular aberrant, both managed to roll it, so they moved up their 6 inches up over this way. And then for the movement phase for the Custodes, he just readied his 1 guy there, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so partway through the movement phase here, these 2 guys advanced up the table this way. I'm running Twisted Helix, which gives me plus 2 inches to my advance rolls, which is pretty good. Also gives me plus 1 strength, which is also pretty good. So that is going to be for them. Now we're going to do some charges to clear the way for some other guys to move here. So we're going to start with my aberrant here, who is going to charge into his leader. He is going to fire Overwatch here. He spent 1 CP on unflinching, which means he gets to Overwatch on 5s and 6s here. No hits there. Adds up to a 5. but that is not what what the stratagem says. So let's see his charge distance. And 8 inches will get him in. And then my Zealot Specialist here is going to charge in. He needs 9 inches. Oh, what do I do? 50-50 on that. But I have to roll. No, I have to re-roll everything. No, I'm just going to take that. All right, to finish off the movement phase here, everyone else advanced up except for my Heavy Specialist over here. He just moved so that he could possibly shoot. But my leader, my Acolyte leader over here, this guy, my guy with the Heavy Rock Saw moved up. He's just out of range over here. He advanced up. And these guys we already showed advanced. So then at the end of the movement phase, my opponent deep struck his Laris Terminator over here within an inch of the table edge and wholly within his deployment zone. So he didn't have to spend any CP, which is pretty nice. So dropped him over here, protecting against people getting off the table edge over there, which is pretty good. All right, so that's going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so into the shooting phase, we're going to start with his Alaris Terminator over here. He is going to fire his grenade launcher into my rock dude here, and he's going to fire the bolter part into my leader back over here. So what do you want to do first?
Let's do the grenade launcher first.
We're going to do the grenade launcher first into Dr. Roxo over here. D3 attacks, so he's going to get 1 attack here. Hitting on a 3. Oh no, hitting on 2 because he is not obscured, absolutely. So that's a hit. Strength
3, strength 4.
Strength 4, so 3s to wound. No wound there. And then the 2 shots into my leader, hitting on 3 though because he's obscured. Ooh, no hits.
Who does that?
All right, my guy has no line of sight on his Terminator, and this guy is in combat, so I cannot fire into him. So now we're going to move into the fight phase. We're going to start with my guy who charged over here. So my Aberrant is going to take a swing at his leader over here. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s though because it's unwieldy with that hammer there. Getting 2 hits though, that's pretty good. So I'm running Twisted Helix like I said, so he is strength 6 times 2, strength 12, looking for 2s to wound. That is 2 film faces, that's how you do that. Showing the faces here, so these are gonna be 2 4-up invul saves. Oh, and he sticks them, exactly. All right, so now he's going to attack back over here. He's gonna have 2 attacks, 3 attacks base. So he's gonna use those with the Guardian Spear, and then he's gonna have 1 with the Misericordia. So these are going to be hitting on 2s. Alrighty, that's going to be all hits here. Wounding on 3s. He's tough strength 4. You're tough strength 5? Strength 5. So looking for 3s on all of these. So that's going to be 1 with the Misericordia and 1 with the regular with the thing.
Misericordia is damage AP minus 2, damage 1.
Okay. So AP minus 2, damage 1, and then what's the...
This is minus 3 D3.
Minus 3 D3. So let's do the D3 there.
Yep.
That's going to be 1.
So it's
going to be 1 damage each. So we'll do... That is not going to do. That's going to give him a flesh wound. So he is still alive, but he has a flesh wound. All right, so that's going to be it for the first turn here. No leadership tests need to be taken because he can't fail with nobody out of action there. So we are now going to roll to see who has the initiative going into round 2. 9. My opponent rolled a 9. I rolled a 10. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. Yep. Alrighty, so partway through the movement phase here, my Heavy Specialist advanced over this way. He advanced up here, got close but couldn't quite make it. But then this guy did, dropping out of there, giving me 2 points so far over here. So now we're going to have some other charges. My Combat Specialist is going to charge into his dude bro over here. He's in combat, so he cannot engage, but 6 inches will get him in. And now my Rock Drill guy is going to charge into him over here. My opponent's going to spend 1 CP for unflinching, so hitting on a 5. So we'll do the grenade launchers, D3 shots. So it's going to be 1 shot on a 5. That makes it.
On a 3.
On a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP.
Minus 3. It's either minus 2 or minus 3.
Ooh, 1 second. All right, so that's damage 1, and that is going to take him out of action. And now my Rock Saw is also going to charge into him over here. All right. That is not a hit. 2 shots, that's right. No hits with the grenade launcher, and then 2 shots with the axe. Getting 1 hit, strength. What is it? Strength 4.
Strength 4.
So 3 to wound. That is a wound.
Minus 1.
AP minus 1. So looking for a 6-up save. Showing that Phil first. Yeah, with the Phil phase. Woo! And here comes his charge distance. 4 inches. 1 second. Yep, he needs a 5-inch charge over there. So I am going to spend a CP to re-roll that. And he's in now. And now my Acolyte leader is going to charge into him. He needs a 7-inch charge to get in. Makes it in. All right, so no shooting phase since everyone is engaged in combat now. So we are just going to go straight into the fight phase. We're going to start with my heavy rock saw guy into his Alaris Terminator over here. So he's going to have 2 attacks with his heavy rock saw, hitting on 3s. That is going to be 2 hits. Strength 10 because of Twisted Helix and ×2, so 2s to wound. That is 2 wounds. AP -4, so 4 up invul saves. Makes both of them.
Ew.
I'm going to spend 1 CP on Industrial Brutality, which is a model armed with a heavy rock drill, rock saw, or rock cutter. For 1 CP, I can roll a D6 on a 4+. He'll get to attack again. So looking for a 4+. No. And now my combat specialist is going to attack into his leader over here. I've got 3 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 4s because of Unwieldy with the hammer. That is going to be 2 hits. Looking for 2s to wound. That is going to be 1 wound. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll this. got a shirt for that. So we got 1 4-up invul save. Yeah! Oh, and he makes it. And now my leader is going to attack into his Terminator over here. 3 attacks on 3s. That is going to be 1 hit. Wounding on a 5. Oh, his toughness 5, right?
5.
No, so it's wound on a 4 because he's strength +1 because of Twisted Helix. Oh, with the fill face. So that is going to be rending. Strength 5, yeah. So that's going to be AP -4, so he's got his 4-up invul save. Oh, that one fell off the table.
4-up invul.
Oh, and he makes that one too. And the cultist knife for whatever. No, I'm not even going to hit. And then my last guy in combat over here is going to attack back. He's got 1 attack, or 2 attacks. Hitting on 5s though because he's got that flesh wound. Getting 1 hit. That is not a wound.
Already specialist.
So now his leader is going to start attacking here. He is going to put 2 attacks into the combat specialist with his spear, guardian spear. He's going to put 1 with his guardian spear into my other aberrant over here, plus the Misericordia into my other aberrant. So we're going to go with the 2 into my combat specialist over here. That's going to be no hits.
So
my opponent's going to spend a CP to reroll one of those because he's already spent. There we go. That's going to be a hit. And it's a wounded on 2 because he spent 1 for piercing strike. Which is a good thing you spent it. So that's going to be AP minus enough to go through. Yeah. So it's D3 damage with 2 damage, which becomes 1 damage. So he takes 1 damage.
Hey with that.
And now we're going to have 1 and 1 going into my other dude over here. So that is going to be both hits. Yep. Wounding on 3s because they're strength 5.
2 and 3.
Oh, 2 and 3.
Because it's
piercing strike. Piercing strike. So that's going to be both wounds. They're both AP enough to go through his 5-up invul save, or 5-up armor save.
I should have done order of operations on this because that's like D3 and that's 1.
All right, let's do this one. D3. We'll just do that one first. Obviously, this one you would have gone with 3 damage. So now 3 injury rolls here, plus 1.
2 because you reduce.
Oh, that's right. Oh, thank you for remembering that. Yes, 2 because of that. But that's going to be enough to kill him.
Yes.
And now his Alaris Terminator over here is going to put 2 attacks with his axe into my Rocksaw guy with the Misericordia attack, and then he's going to put 2 attacks with the axe into my Acolyte leader over here. So we're going to do the ones into the Rocksaw first. These are going to be hitting on 2s. 1 hit with the axe, but I mean that's probably all it's going to take. That's going to go straight through. What's the damage?
AP -2, D3 damage.
AP -2.
So I still have to wound. That was my
that's right. Still have to wound here.
2.
No, does not wound.
What?
All right, now the 2 onto my Acolyte leader over here. That's going to be 2 hits. There we go. Getting 1. Strength times 2, right? Yeah.
Damage.
D3 damage. So the first one does 2. That's going to take him down. So it's 2 injury rolls.
4 kills him.
4 is out. All right, so that's the end of turn 2. No leadership tests need to be taken because I've got no guys with flesh wounds. I've only got 3 guys out, so I don't have to roll for breaking here. So now we're just going to roll to see who has initiative going into turn 3. I rolled a 6. My opponent rolled a 5, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. All right, so end of the movement phase. Both my heavy specialist and the other Acolyte ran out the board on the table there. My opponent had spent CP to make this one unable to get it. He basically put his foot on top of the grate there, keep me from getting out of there. Then my leader advanced over this way. The other 2 guys stayed in combat. Brave Sir Robbins over here. So we are going to start into the fight phase now because no one can shoot. Actually, you know what? I do have a shot. Why don't we do it anyway? Because I got a pistol over here. Auto pistol. That is a hit. But that's not a wound. All right, we're done with that. No more shooting. Into the fight phase. We're going to start with my combat specialist into his leader over here. So I'm going to have 3 attacks because he is the combat specialist. Hitting on 4s because it's unwieldy with that hammer. Oh, not getting anything. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll one of those.
He got 5. Oh, wait, he's not.
Yeah, he got the hit. Okay, wounding on a 2.
You already rerolled.
And now his Alaris is going to activate, attacking into my dude bro over here. All his hits here, hitting on 2s, okay. But these are going to be wounding on 2s.
Strength 8.
Strength 8, they're going to go straight through, so we'll just do the first one here, D3 damage. Doing 1
1
damage. Injury roll.
I'm going to reroll that.
Oh, he's going to spend a CP to reroll it. Oh, interesting strategy there. I like it. Wait. I don't know if you can. 1 second. All right, no, you cannot. I know. You're probably already looking at me and glaring at me about the fact that we got that wrong, but I remembered. It's just bouncing back and forth between regular 40K and kill team. You get confused there, but we remembered it.
I'm not going to keep the 6.
So we're not going to keep the 6. We're gonna roll it again for the injury test here. But the 6 comes up. The dice were like, did I stutter? Yes. He is out of there.
Splat.
And then his leader here is going to attack into my dude bro. So here we go. It's going to be 3 attacks. That's going to be 2 hits. Looking for 3s to wound. That's 2 wounds. AP is going to go straight through. So the first one, D3. 2 damage. That's going to go through. So 2 injury rolls here.
1 because you reduced.
Oh, reduced it by 1. That's right. To 1, which is still enough. And that's going to flesh wound him. All right, so that's going to be the end of the turn here. I'm going to spend 1 CP for Insane Bravery to auto-pass his nerve test. We don't have to take a break test yet because the guys who escape don't count as out of action there. So we should be good to go here. So now we're going to roll to see who has initiative going into turn 4. 8 to 5, so it's going to be my opponent first. So we'll come back to you after movement phase. All right, movement phase, he's going to stay in combat. And then he is going to charge into me over here. So I'm going to roll Overwatch here, looking for 6s. Nope, no hits there. So your charge distance there. 4 inches should be enough to get him in. Yeah. All right, so into no shooting phase, so into the fight phase here. At the beginning of it, I'm going to spend 2 CP for Decisive Strike, as is my opponent. So now we're going to roll off to see who will be able to Decisive Strike first. Oh, and my opponent will.
I am more decisive.
Is super more decisive, so he's going to use it into here, over here. So it's going to be 3 attacks. That is going to be 2 hits, wounding on 2s.
3s.
A wound on 3s, so that's still 2 wounds there. Yep. So then D3 damage. It's going to be 2 damage, which goes down to 1 damage. So 1 injury roll over here, plus 1. Yeah! Oh, and he's out. And because of a Decisive Strike, he'll get to wail against your armor plate over here. 2 attacks. That's going to be 2 hits. Yes, 2 hits. 1 wound, 2 up armor save. Oh! His first wound. Yeah, leader, you can die heroically knowing that stories. Like, one guy's going to, like, pop his head up here to see you dent his armor, and he's going to be like, ow, that hurt. And then they're going to be like, oh, and go down to tell everybody about it.
Ow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ow. So now let's see what he does back to him, which I imagine is going to be pretty brutal. Yeah. Hitting on 2s. Okay, that's all hits. Wounding on 2s. That's all wounds. So we'll just do 1 D3 damage. 3 damage, 3 injury rolls here. And that's, he's 665. He is out of action. That is the game there, ladies and gentlemen. So, a brutal, brutal game. At the end of the game, none of us are broken, so no one auto wins. But I gained 6 points for having 3 guys get off the table there. My opponent killed 6 guys, but one of them is my leader, giving him 7 points to my 6 points. A victory for the Custodes, just barely.
Still
counts as a victory for the Custodes. A lot closer than I thought it was going to be, but a ton of fun. A ton of fun. Yeah, the Genestealer is definitely, by managing to dent his armor, the Genestealer Cult most certainly got the moral victory on this one. I will take that moral victory.
More than the entire cult.
Exactly, yeah. The cult are very happy with having damaged that golden plate there. So, a victory on the table for the Custodes, a victory in the hearts for the Genestealer Cult. That game was crazy. That was a ton of fun. We wanted to do, because I'd done the battle report with the Custodes, and I did elite against elite, and the Custodes just like tore them to shreds.
Custodes win that.
Custodes win that matchup any day of the week, toe to toe against an equal number of dude bros. But we were interested to see how it'd work out with like a horde of dudes coming at you, and I thought it was good. It was awesome to see it, but that 4-up invul save, whoo, Nelly, that really makes a big difference. But then again, minus 1 to damage kept my aberrants alive a lot longer than they should have been. So yeah, a ton of fun. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. My opponent's been Harris, and until next time, have fun.